Tim Burton, director of Batman, Beetlejuice, and Edward Scissorhands, now takes you to a completely different world. The true story of a Hollywood legend, Ed Wood.
And action!
He made movies like no one else.
You want to keep moving. You've got to get through that door. Ah, that was perfect.
Perfect? Do you know anything about film production?
Well, I like to think so.
He had an eye for talent.
I met Bela Lugosi.
Well, I thought he was dead.
This is the most uncomfortable coffin I've ever been in. No, he's very much alive.
You flying saucer?
He had a passion for storytelling.
Get me transvestites. I need transvestites.
You're flashy. They want that. Okay. But they want professionalism, so nix on the Nelly without losing naivete.
What kind of a movie is this?
It's science fiction. A heartbreaking romance. Brave robbers from outer space.
Brave robbers from what?
And he had a secret he couldn't hide.
I like to dress in women's clothing. Panties, sweaters, pumps. It's just something I do.
You don't like sex with girls?
No, I love sex with girls. Wearing their clothes makes me feel closer to them.
How can you act so casual when you're dressed like that?
All right, everybody, let's finish this picture.
Touchstone Pictures presents Johnny Depp, Martin Landau, Sarah Jessica Parker, Patricia Arquette, and Bill Murray in the true story
Give him a hand. Keep rolling.
of an unforgettable filmmaker.
We're making another movie. I got the Church of Beverly Hills to put up the cash.
How do you get all your friends to get baptized just so you can make a monster movie?
And his legacy that will live forever.
How do you turn this on?
Shake his legs around. Looks like he's killing. This is the one.
Put in! I command you!
This is the one I'll be remembered for.
Ed Wood, a Tim Burton film.
Really? Worst film you ever saw? Well, my next one will be better. Hello?
Then you start out.
Okay, I'll start. Watch me do it. I'm a professional. Are you ready?
I'm always ready.
Are you shooting?
Yeah.
And hey everybody, it's Rich and Triv, and we're still here at the 2014 German Central Oktoberfest. And Triv's having a great time. And you know what we want to tell you? Guess what? This is the 16th annual. Next year is going to be the 17th annual. And we want you to come out here to German Central in Parma, right?
German Central in Parma.
For their Oktoberfest. Mini movie's going to be here. Guaranteed that, right?
Guaranteed.
And why else should they come out? Why else? What's a good reason for them to come out?
I see a couple reasons right now.
Oh, yeah, now I got it. Now I see a couple of good reasons why everybody should come out to the German Central 17th Annual 2015 Oktoberfest. Post! 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 Post!
comes the major surgery, the removal of the man and the formation of the woman. A woman born at the age of 24.
A new life is begun.
The body of the woman within begins to appear now. The world is shocked by a person who changed his sex. Thus, the strange case of Glen, who was Glenda, one and the same person, not half man, half woman, but nevertheless man and woman in the same body. He dares to enter the street dressed in the clothes he so much desires to wear. Glen is engaged to be married to Barbara. Glen's problem is a deep one, but he must tell her soon. She's begun to notice things. Soon she will realize. He learned that foreign doctors were doing marvelous work with a sex change. Man to woman, woman to man.
Say, did you read about the guy that had his sex changed to a girl? Says he was perfectly normal, too.
How can a guy be normal and go and do a thing like that to himself?
What about their children, Doctor? Would their children become the same way their father is?
Glenda has made the decision. If the newspapers had not gotten hold of the story, it would have gone untold, unnoticed as so many others in medical history. Why is the modern world shocked by this headline? Why?
Do you realize what would happen if every man in the country that wanted to wear women's clothes or felt like a woman went to their doctors and wanted a sex change?
Glen and all the hundreds of thousands of other Glens across the nation face quite a problem.
Rich, you are being charged with committing heinous atrocities across thousands of viewers' eyes. Well, hundreds of viewers, maybe a couple of viewers in Northeast Ohio and one in Oregon.
The guy complained? I don't know.
So, for those atrocities, I sentence you to be drawn and quartered.
No, that's
Dr.
too much.
Midnight, proceed.
That's too much. That's too much. That's too much. I've been drawn.
You idiots! I said drawn and quartered, not quarters!
Hey! No? Oh! Jeez, didn't want to wake anybody up. Welcome! What the hell is this, and what is the reason? We're not showing a movie about cats or anything. So what's up? What's the story?
I'm a wolf!
We're not showing a movie about wolf either.
I'm still a wolf! And I got my little paws! Everybody remember paws? Say hi, paws!
He's like, let me down.
Okay.
Aw, look at you. You're a good one. All right, go
to
on.
mommy.
And he's up.
Go have fun.
All right, what's the next movie? I'm running out of steam.
They're all dressed
After I just got done unloading adrenaline, now I'm ready for a nap.
They're all dressed up. They obviously know what they're doing.
All right, well,
What are you gonna do?
let them take it away.
Plan 9.
No,
No. No.
Face off.
no.
Glenda?
Yeah.
Third time's the charm.
What's that have to do with wolf?
Hey, Stubby, using the wrong thumb.
Yeah. Thumb off. I've seen him do a lot of things with that thumb.
And he's liked every one of them. Well, I've seen him make that thumb.
Oh, that's right, huh?
Yeah.
Was that one of the thumbest things he ever did?
Yes, it is. Very much so.
Okay, hold on. That was
I was looking for nubs in all the wrong places.
It was in the back of the attic where I found it.
No, you were afraid to pick it up.
I brought it.
And a cup of ice.
We need to get him up here and they can talk about how Terry lost his thumb.
No, that's okay. Very good.
Roll the video. No.
Cut my thumb.
All right, Glen or Glenda?
Which one?
That's the name of the movie.
What?
Glen or Glenda?
Is that like Face Off?
Yes, it's kind of. Someone's trying to go. It's like two movies in one, from two different perspectives or something. One where someone's dressing like a female, and another one who's going through the operation to become a female.
Oh, so it's modern day.
I guess they were looking into the future, maybe. I don't know.
Gotcha.
Just gonna explain it now.
Pull the string, the big green dragon. I don't know.
What's going on?
What the hell
is that?
What?
Pull the string.
Pull the string, the big green dragon.
Whatever the hell that means. I don't
That's
know.
Bela Lugosi's in this movie.
Oh, he is?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Again?
Mm-hmm. They have like a flashback or some fantasy scene, and he pops up and he's pull the string, the green dragon.
Just the way to get Bela Lugosi in the movie?
Yeah, I guess
right?
so they get a little name value.
Have you seen Ed Wood?
Goes back to my couple weeks ago. That's why I'm not a
Is this
fan
another
of Ed Wood.
Woody?
Yes. It's Ed Wood month for some reason.
Oh, I didn't know
The
Ed
Summer
did
of
this
Wood.
Well, it's like we had Independent Month that lasted for 7 weeks.
Well, good. It could last as long as we want it to last.
What are you gonna do?
Normal channels. It was just Roku only.
Well, it's gonna be on YouTube the next week. We're doing a one-time YouTube so we can chat about it.
I thought we already did that.
So we can chat about it.
Hostile? No, that's not.
Hey, now's not the time to discuss stuff that's going on. This is not a scheduling meeting.
Yeah,
This
because
is
that was last
entertainment.
month.
Yeah, it already aired on
Answer
YouTube. Oh, was he
Are
trying?
you ready? Sure.
What's going on?
Schlamigo!
Chicago.
Huss and Pfeffer Incorporated. We are trying to buy some time for you guys to get together. Good job.
Yeah.
And if you need a private dancer,
I'm your private dancer.
there you go.
A dancer for money. I do what you want me to do.
Why don't you sit down and shut the f*** up? That's what I want you to do.
Too much. Cut his music.
Hey, Rocco, can you hear me? Get the book about 10 seconds ago. Terry did it again.
Terry did a poopy. Are you guys back now? You got yourself together? Sure. You know what's going on?
Yeah.
You're okay. You're
Glen or
okay.
Glenda? All right. Go to the movie.
There you go.
I was trying to get my dollar out.
Next.
No, wait, what's going on? Oh, not the sock.
Hey, you're paying taxes on that.
There is one big song.
Not the big black long sock.
Undocumented income.
Sock it to me, sock it to me, sock it to me.
Let me check my underwear.
unknown, drawing from the endless reaches of time, brings to light many startling things. Startling because they seem new, sudden. But most are not new to the science of the ages. Personalities. One is wrong because he does right, and one is right because he does wrong. Pull the string, dance to that. Which one is created for? A new day is begun. A new life is begun. A life is ended.
Let me see that note.
The records will tell the story. I was put in jail recently. Why? Because I, a man, was caught on the street wearing women's clothing. This was my 4th arrest for the same act. In life, I must continue wearing them. Therefore, it would only be a matter of time until my next arrest. This is the only way. Let my body rest in death forever in the things I cannot wear in life.
Inspector Warren is here to see you, Dr. Alton.
Oh, yes. Show him in, Miss Stevens. Inspector?
Doctor?
Sit down.
Thank you. You're a very busy man, Dr. Alton, I know. I appreciate this time you're giving me.
Business or pleasure, Inspector?
In a way, business. From policeman to inspector. 20 years of it. I guess I've seen everything there is for a policeman to see. Yet I wonder if we ever stop learning. Learning about which we see. Trying to learn more about an ounce of prevention. I'm a man who thrives on learning. We only have one life to live. If we throw that one away, what is there left? Doctor, I'm hoping to learn something from you. And with that knowledge, maybe save some human from a fate which I just witnessed a few days ago. A 4-time loser. This type of case comes to me as well as yourself many times during the course of 1 month.
The suicide?
The suicide.
Most of us have our idiosyncrasies.
This fellow's was quite pronounced.
Yes, but I wonder if it rated the death warrant it received. I don't think so.
Well, that's why I'm here today, Doctor. What do we do about it?
I've always heard you to be a hard-hearted policeman, Inspector.
Isn't that what's thought of most policemen? The laws are written. The policeman is hired to see that those laws are enforced. We have a job to do. As in most jobs, there's always somebody who doesn't want that job to be done. In most factories today, the employer has put up suggestion boxes. Even the employer needs advice once in a while. I think in the case that we're referring to, I need advice. Maybe it shouldn't have happened as it did, but it did. Perhaps the next time we can prevent it.
Let's get our story straight. You're referring to the suicide of the transvestite?
If that's the word you men of medical science use for a man who wears woman's clothing, yes.
Yes, in cold, technical language, that's the word. As unfriendly and as vicious as it may sound. However, in actuality, it's not an unfriendly word, nor is it vicious when you know the people to whom it pertains.
Would the sex operation do these people any good? I understand you were quite prominent in a case that hit the headlines a few weeks ago.
In some cases, yes. Others, no.
Well, the papers certainly had a field day with that one.
Strange as it may seem, even though it was a field day, as you so aptly put it, it's not a new story. Sex change has been performed many times. Those whose sex can be changed, they're the easy ones. But what of those who so desperately want to be of the opposite sex, yet can't change their sex? Such as was the case with Patrick, Patricia, the suicide.
I'd like to understand this, Doctor, as best you can tell me.
You can only fully understand the sex change by taking two entirely different cases. Two men with exactly the same background, from childhood to manhood and on to their own decisions and destinations.
I'd like to hear the story to the fullest.
Only the infinity of the depths of a man's mind can really tell the story.
Young man, though he is, speaks the words of the All-Wise. No one can really tell the story. Mistakes are made. But there is no mistaking the thoughts in a man's mind. The story is begun.
might say, there, but for the grace of God, go I. Why is the modern world shocked by this headline? Why? Once, not so very long ago, the people of the world were saying,
airplanes. Why, it's against the Creator's will. If the Creator wanted us to fly, he'd have given us wings.
but we fly. Maybe some of you may still remember an even sillier remark.
Automobiles? Bah. They scare the hosses. If the Creator had meant for us to roll around the countryside, we'd have been born with wheels.
Silly? Certainly. We were not born with wings. We were not born with wheels. But in the modern world of today, it's an accepted fact that we must have them. So we have corrected that which nature has not given us. Strangely enough, nature has given us all these things. We just had to learn how to put nature's elements together for our use, that's all. Yet, the world is shocked by a sex change.
If the Creator had wanted us to fly, he'd have given us wings.
If the Creator had meant us to roll around the countryside, we'd have been born with wheels.
If the Creator had meant us to be boys, we certainly would have been born boys.
If the Creator had meant us to be born girls, we certainly would have been born girls.
Are we sure? Nature makes mistakes. It's proven every day. This person is a transvestite, a man who is more comfortable wearing girls' clothes. The term transvestite is the name given by medical science to those persons who wear the clothing of the opposite sex. Many a transvestite actually wishes to be the opposite sex. The title of this can only be labeled Behind Locked Doors. Give this man satin undies, a dress, a sweater, and a skirt, or even the lounging outfit he has on, and he's the happiest individual in the world. He can work better, think better, he can play better, and he can be more of a credit to his community and his government because he is happy. These things are his comfort. But why the wig and makeup? He dares to enter the street dressed in the clothes he so much desires to wear, but only if he really appears female. The long hair, the makeup, the clothing, the actual contours of a girl. Most transvestites do not want to change their life, their bodies. Many of them simply want to change the clothing they wear to that is worn by the opposite sex. Glen is engaged to be married to Barbara, a lovely, intelligent girl.
Those fingernails have got to go.
You know, I didn't realize they're as long as they are.
My goodness, they're almost as long as mine. Maybe even prettier. We'll have to paint them sometime just for the fun of it.
We'll trim them.
That's for sure.
You know, honey, you've invited me to dinner so many times in the last couple of months. It's almost like we were married already.
I wish we were, darling. It's been a long year.
For both of us.
But now, my studies are through, college is concluded, and I'm free at last.
Free? For the time being.
Huh? Oh. How about joining me for an after-dinner drink?
The living room?
Mm-hmm.
Modern man is a hard-working human. Throughout the day, his mind and his muscles are busy at building the modern world and its business administration. His clothing is rough, coarse, starched, according to the specifications of his accepted job. At home, what does modern man have to look forward to for his body comfort? The things provided for his home, a wool or flannel robe, his feet encased in the same thick, tight-fitting leather that his shoes are made of. These are the things provided for his home comfort. It doesn't look so comfortable, does it? And get the hat. Better still, get the receding hairline. Men's hats are so tight they cut off the blood flow to the head, thus cutting off the growth of hair. 7 out of 10 men wear a hat, so the advertisements say. 7 out of 10 men are bald. But what about the ladies? Yes, modern woman is a hard-working individual also, but when modern woman's day of work is done, that which is designed for her home comfort is comfort. Hats that give no obstruction to the blood flow. Hats that do not crush the hair. Interesting thought, isn't it?
Oh, hi, honey. Welcome to Big Bella's Double D Diner. How you doing today?
I'm okay. Just a little tired.
Oh, you sure look tired, sweetheart.
Yeah.
And you look hungry, too. I bet you're famous.
Been on the road all day. I'm starving. I just needed a quick bite to eat.
You're real hungry, huh?
What do you got?
Well, we run a special today. 2 hamburgers and 1 hot dog for $5. What do you think?
2 hamburgers, 1 hot dog, $5? Sounds like a good deal to me.
All right,
Take
sweetheart. You sit there and you just take a load off, and I'm going to get those hamburgers and stuff started for you right now. 100% ground meat.
Whoa. Wait, what are you doing?
Oh, honey, of course, all our meat's frozen. I have to thaw it out first.
Cancel that hot dog.
All right, here we're still here at Monster Race. Look who joined us. Mike has shown up, and just in time because we were here with the man who I came to see, Mr. Gary Conway.
Oh.
Now everybody knows Teenage Frankenstein, right? I mean, we love Teenage Frankenstein, but my favorite show was Land of the Giants. And I still watch that on MeTV. That's MeTV, but Mr. Gary Conway's here. You were Lieutenant Steve Burton on that show, and you've done so much stuff. How are you doing today, sir?
Well, it's been wonderful to be here and to meet so many people that get something out of this all these years later. Who would have figured? When I did Teenage Frankenstein, I hardly remember doing it. Was done as a film that was so out of the norm at that point, when they're doing the great romantic films, right? You know, starring Barbara Stanwyck. Suddenly, I was a teenage werewolf. Wow, that went crazy. And then after that, they said, we got to keep going. It was AIP. And they did the Frankenstein. Then they put us both together. This man back here, this very laid-back guy. But he, what? Forget the term laid, okay? Get back to work. Anyway, as I was saying, because I like to throw in what has brought us to is I'll be doing my own podcast, TV podcast, and I'm calling it the New Land of the Giants, using the symbolism of Land of the Giants, which really through the ages is held up to describe most of our society, which is always ends up being big and little, and once in a while you get. He doesn't have that many problems, but this is one of them.
That's okay. There's always one in the crowd, right?
I don't want to describe the problem, but it's pretty bad, right? Anyway, so I'm doing that, and I hope people can watch that, because I will do a range from what we're talking about now to what real wine is like, what real food is like, what GMO is like, and the advantage I have when I'm talking about genetic modified foods, which everybody's scared of, as they should be, I mention, well, those are Frankenfoods. You can't put 2 different species together and come up with anything that's not pretty dangerous. So the symbolism works to this day. So I go back to that. Anyway, that's what I'll be sharing.
Well, when you were now, I know you started back in the 50s. You were in Burke's Law, right?
Right. That came in the 60s, and it was
early 60s.
Yeah, it was Aaron Spelling's first show, and as television went forward, in those days, we have to remember there were only 3 networks.
Right.
And when you did a show then, everybody watched it. We used to have ratings that today you have to be a Super Bowl to get ratings like that. And Land of the Giants especially had that around the world. And we don't don't have that anymore. I mean, there are TV series that have been on for years I don't even know about because they're in some, you know, in my 600 channel deal, it's in channel whatever, and it takes too much time to get up the ladder.
Sure.
Channels, so I miss it.
Back then, when there was only a few networks,
Three networks.
it was actually a big deal when certain shows came on, and you know that actually meant like there was more family time too, where the family gathered around for the special event. Now everybody has a TV in their own room, many channels, boom, 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 and everyone's kind of separated. So
I remember one day years ago when I was under contract to Warner Brothers. At that point, that's when Sunset Strip was a big show. And I remember in North Hollywood, which is a suburb of Los Angeles, one summer night going down the street, and every home you see the parlor had Sunset Strip. You would never ever see that again. That'll never ever happen again. And even when I did Land of the Giants, which was on Sunday night at 7 o'clock, everybody saw it. So on Monday, if I went up wherever I went, everybody said, "Gee, how did you do?" You know, they would comment on it. We shared that. Today, I can get $3 million an episode to be in one of these series on HBO, whatever, and nobody ever knows about it. So I don't know. I think those were better days in many ways.
Well, I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. But you know, but I also know that touch a little bit on, you know, you were an accomplished landscape and portrait painter, and you at the youngest.
Here's my book.
Before the age of 16, you were.
I was started painting at 4.
You started painting at 4.
Oh, there's the book.
Before the age of 16, you were offered full scholarships at 3 of the biggest art.
Yes, I had 3 scholarships. Actually, ended up being 4, but the 3. The best schools: Art Center, Chenard, and in fact, in those days, schools were a little more sensitive to art, perhaps, and they allowed me to go to LA High School in the morning for 3.5 hours, or 4 hours, and then I would get on a bus and then do my scholarship in the afternoon. I have a studio today at my vineyard, and I have over 6,000 paintings and drawings of all my life.
You're also an accomplished architect, and you're a martial artist.
Well, not really. Now that I'm not. No, because you never know.
No, you're right.
Yeah, you know what I mean. There's too many really accomplished. No, I've done. I'm a violinist. I'm a writer. I'm doing a Broadway show right now, a play that a big producer, based on the scripts. I've written a lot of scripts, but it's all, you know, it's art. And whatever medium you choose is something maybe you train with or you come naturally. But again, it's a creative expression one way or the other. And you're either doing that or you're an attorney or you're a businessman. And I never chose to be that, for good or for bad.
Yeah. Well, I think the key word there is whatever you chose to do. It sounds like whatever you chose to do, you did it excellently and did it well and very successfully.
Well, I was always pretty passionate about what I did as an artist. And the great thing about being in the arts, I will say this to whatever audience is out there, and this is a remarkable thing, and I was an art history major, is that artists always get better as they get older. Not like being a great football player. You get worse. It's kind of going to be discouraging. But I don't know of any artist or musician who, as they got older, didn't get better.
Never even
Van
thought of it
Gogh,
like
Gauguin, Mozart, Beethoven. They always did their greatest work towards the end of their life. And that's kind of not a bad profession to be in. You don't want to be, you feel that it never ends for you. And it doesn't. I don't care what. Frank Gehry right now is in his 80s or 90s. He's this great architect doing his best work. Beethoven's 9th Symphony was better than his 1st. Mozart's 42nd was better than his 3rd. Gauguin's later work. That doesn't happen anywhere else. So let's all be artists.
Sounds great. Well, now I'm really looking forward to your podcast.
Yeah. Give me, by the way, before you leave, where to connect with you guys.
You got it. All right, cool. Well, we can put information on their website.
Yeah, you got
for your podcast. That'd be great.
It'll be connected to a lot we're talking about today, and I think it'll be fun for people. And also, I'm going to share I have a unique knowledge in things like viticulture and a lot of things and that's what I want to share. But I want to share it in an entertaining way, in a way that people will get a lot out of it in many levels. So yeah, please share that with me.
Well, now, I hate to spring this on you right at the end, but one of our crew members is a very big fan of Land of the Giants. He's kind of shy. He's waiting a few tables down. He's got something very special. He wants to get your autograph. Was there if he comes over and gets your autograph?
No, I don't give autographs anymore.
Oh, so
anyway, yeah, I'll do
okay.
it. Oh,
here it is. He brought his own pencil.
Yeah, I didn't. When I was Land of the Giants, this was the way I used to give autographs. And then when I finally got off that planet, I realized it was a lot easier to do a regular pen or pencil. This was hard. This is hard to write. And I was writing my memoirs with this, and you had to have a huge piece of paper, which was difficult.
I can imagine a typewriter would have been harder.
Get this.
Hey, that just proves that you have a lot of lead in your pencil.
Yeah, that's true too. Well, maybe not. Maybe hold on. I can't prove that.
You won't hold it up to.
All right. That may be a whole nother.
There he is.
That's a whole nother show. I love
Gary
that.
Conway. What a good sense of humor and a great guy. And hey, thanks for having us here.
Thank you.
Those broadcasts. Check out the website. You're going to get the broadcast.
I want to podcast.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah,
it was great. Thanks, man. Thank you.
It's wet.
Oh, Lord, help us.
You got a face-off for this one?
I might.
Does it have to do with face-off?
Probably not.
Oh.
Okay.
Who was better? 5, 4, Glenn Ford or Glenn Campbell?
Oh my God. We're up.
Okay, we got welcome back. I remember you said welcome back, everybody. Thank you for watching our program on all of our various outlets.
All 3 of them.
We have a lot of outlets. WWOA New York 48. We got the Monster Channel. We got COX Cable. We got our YouTube channel.
We love our COX.
We got our very own Roku channel, which you should get on.
The Vortex.
Shout out to Tim from Akron for doing the Roku channel. He's done a great job. It's free. The Vortex.
Hey, Vortex. I always get your notices way too late. By the time I get to approve a message or do whatever, it already happened.
I know. I see it. I'm like, whoa! It's
I don't want to, but I don't want to deny it.
No, we don't, because we love the Vortex.
But I always get the notices late where I can't really share it on time.
So Vortex, come on.
I see it and it's like, I'm in that movie tonight at 9. And it's like 10 o'clock at night already, or it was the day after.
Yeah.
So we're trying. I'm trying. We
love you though.
I'm busy, man. I got the time.
We love everybody, and we love our fans out in Minneapolis. All right, keep them. Keep all them messages coming.
Did we never responded to that?
I was supposed to do that. I better get busy on that.
I think we missed it already, didn't we?
Yeah. What?
I think we missed it already.
What are you gonna do?
That was a while ago.
I was supposed to do that, and then I forgot.
We were supposed to be
my bad
for the month or something.
My bad. They'll get it another month. There's other months. There's 12 of them.
Wait a minute. You were late a month?
What?
I was late a month.
Oh.
Am I rich or rich into?
Hey, Rocco.
I'm going to change
pennies, nickels, and dimes.
Can I tease the face off?
What was that noise?
I'm going to tease the face off. And I want no bullshit.
What?
No bull crap from anybody here.
Ooh, hearing that.
All right. Ed Wood, a decorated, low-budget director. Then you got
decorated him.
How do I forget his name? Who's the other?
Corman.
Roger Corman. So you start thinking about directors. One of my favorite
Harvey
directors.
Harvey Corman.
Got nothing to do with tonight's movie. Got nothing to do with the month of months or whatever the hell or whatever the hell it is.
Which the summer really don't
again get the
do
book
with it anyway.
Yeah.
This whole
Godzilla.
The whole last 3 weeks is gonna be nothing but beep 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 beep.
I know. Because
of
the big bag wolf.
Beady beady beady. Well, he even joined in.
He didn't say nothing bad, did he?
Last week he did, or the week before he did.
You said something.
I think I did. I may have.
Okay.
I don't know.
I'm just going off of talking about directors. So one of my favorite directors, Brian De Palma. Okay, I like his style. All right. What was the better De Palma movie? Carrie.
Harry.
Kadoosh. Hopefully it's not invisible.
The original.
Of course, the original. What do you? What? You knew?
Kinda.
She's a wolf.
Harry De Palma.
Carrie or Blowout?
Ah.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Wasn't Travolta in that?
He was one of his best performances, in my opinion.
What,
Nancy Allen
in that car.
Who is De Palma's wife?
Hey, Nancy Allen, get in the car. Let's go for a ride. We're going to blow out of this place.
Hey, and I'm going to do it without any grease.
Yeah. I'm in the grease lightning. Whoa, grease lightning. Go, grease lightning.
Anyway, that's the face-off.
That's okay, but she wanted him in a Hummer.
De Palma, carry or blowout?
Harry De Palma.
I was going to put blowout and Dress to Kill, but I don't think maybe enough people saw Dress to Kill.
Could you put a blowout in a Hummer?
Huh?
I saw Angie.
But not everybody, I don't think, saw
Angie
Dress to Kill.
Dickinson and Dress to Kill.
Dress to Kill is a great movie.
And she rubbed my neck. Steel City Con.
Now, hey, here's a little tidbit about Dress to Kill. Angie Dickinson had.
Angie Dickinson.
She had a stand-in for her nude scene.
She did.
Son.
You know who the nude body was?
The nude body was a stand-in.
You know who it was?
It was Angie Dickinson stand-in.
You know what her name was?
Her name was Dickinson stand-in stunt double.
Victoria Johnson. Victoria
Lovelace.
Victoria Johnson.
Victoria Johnson.
She's actually a redhead. She had the bleacher down there,
What?
blonde.
It was through that thing. You didn't see nothing.
You know who she was, though?
Nope.
She was in Grizzly.
She was in Grizzly?
And she got half naked in Grizzly. Went underneath
Really?
the waterfall.
You
and got
remember her in your movie?
Look her up.
Which half?
Huh?
Said she got half naked. Which half?
Well, she had bra and panties still.
Huh?
But then she went underneath.
not naked
she
at
got
all.
Underneath her water. She went underneath. Oh, forget it. Just go back to the
You
movie.
consider that half naked, bra and panties? You're not half naked. You're totally covered. Half naked is
almost naked. Is that better?
No.
Like Rich is right now, he's half naked.
Yeah, I'm half naked according to you.
Because he's only got his bra and his panties on.
You guys are just.
I don't want to talk about my panties.
I'm just gonna start my own show. This is too difficult.
Thought
to
this
get
was
through.
your
Yeah,
own
call it the boring Triv show.
Yeah, oh man. Ouch. Let's get back to
Wow.
Glenda.
Hold on.
Dogs are biting.
Hold on. He deserves this one.
Before the fight breaks out.
We're hearing them all night anyway.
Tweet. Where is the animal instinct in modern civilization? Female has the fluff and the finery, as specified by those who design and sell. Little Miss Female, you should feel quite proud of the situation. You, of course, realize that it's predominantly men who design your clothes, your jewelry, your makeup, your hairstyling, your perfume. But life, even though its changes are slow, moves on. There's no law against wearing such apparel on the street, as long as it can be distinguished that man is man and woman is woman. But what is it that would happen were this individual to appear this way on the street? You're doing it now, laughing. Yet, it's not a situation to be laughed at. Thus, the strange case of Glen, who was Glenda, one and the same person, not half man, half woman, but nevertheless, man and woman in the same body, even though by all outward appearances, Glen is fully and completely a man.
Sister let me borrow her dress.
You want to borrow your sister's dress? What for?
I want to wear it to the Halloween party.
There are names for boys who go around wearing girls' clothes.
Oh, don't be silly, darling. You go ahead and wear your sister's dress, Glen. You always did look much better as a girl than you do as a man.
Glen did wear the dress to the Halloween party. He even took first prize. Then one day it wasn't Halloween any longer.
I wish I had the sight into such things to be able to advise you, Sheila. Maybe if you took the problem to a doctor.
It's Glen that needs the doctor. But when things like this go wrong with someone so close and in your own family, it's so hard to believe.
It's not really hard to believe. It's just hard for you to accept.
Well, of course it's hard for me to accept.
I were to come home with Roy or one of my other boyfriends some night and find Glen like I did last night.
Yeah, that would be hard to explain.
That's the understatement of the year. Just how does one go about introducing your friends to your brother when brother's wearing your best sweater and your skirt and makeup to boot?
Glen is not a homosexual. Glen is a transvestite, but he is not a homosexual. Transvestism is the term given by medical science to those persons who desperately wish to wear the clothing of the opposite sex, yet whose sex life in all instances remains quite normal. Would you be surprised to know that this rough, tough individual was wearing pink satin undies under his rough exterior clothing? He is. Then there is your friend the milkman, who knows how to find comfort at home.
I can't stand it any longer. He wears all my clothes. Nothing is sacred to him, even my briefs.
He has every one of my sweaters stretched out of shape. Of course, he has always replaced them. But then, they didn't last long either.
But, Your Honor, ruffles on his shirts and shorts. Really?
Glen and all the hundreds of thousands of other Glens across the nation face quite a problem. Glen is engaged to be married to Barbara, a lovely, intelligent girl. The problem? Glenda, Glen's other self. The girl that he himself is, his other individual personality.
You look tired tonight, Glen.
Yeah, I guess I am. It's been a long day.
Have you seen the paper yet?
No, what?
It's headlines. A man had his sex changed to a woman. Isn't that a strange case? I wonder how some people's mind works.
Well, some people aren't happy the way they are.
I suppose so, but to change one's sex, that's a pretty drastic step to take.
If it's the only way, I'm for it.
I wonder what I would do in a case like that, if I were in the mental turmoil that person went through. Or if I suddenly realized that something was mentally wrong with you. It's hard to visualize. Here we are, two perfectly normal people, got to be married and lead a normal life together. And there's this poor fellow who never could have been happy if it wasn't for modern medical science. Our fourth term in psychology explains a lot of the facts, but I'm afraid the end of study is only the beginning of reality.
Glen's problem is a deep one, but he must tell her soon. She's begun to notice things. His nails, his eyes when he looks into a ladies' store window. So many of the little things that are hard to hide. Soon she will realize. Then there was the time Barbara was wearing the sweater Glen had always wanted to feel on his own body. It was becoming an obsession to him. He must have it.
What's the matter, Glen, darling?
I guess I was daydreaming.
Something seems to be troubling you. Why don't you tell me?
It's nothing.
Once, long ago, just after we started going steady together, we promised we'd never lie to each other. Are we going to start now, just because we're engaged to be married?
It's just that... Oh, Barbara, it's nothing that a little sleep won't cure. It's been an awful long day.
It's more than that. Come on, tell me, darling. Who knows? Maybe I can help.
That's just it. You could.
Then something is troubling you.
Yes.
Do I have a right to know?
You have a right to know. But let's just say for the moment that I'm afraid to tell you. I'm afraid I'd lose you.
Nothing could be as bad as all that. I love you and you love me. And nothing in the world can change that.
I hope not. I really hope not.
Glen, is it another woman?
mate. A story must be told.
Always the same. He's not had the nerve to tell her. But he must soon come to some conclusion or forget the marriage. Should he tell Barbara of his Glenda now, before the wedding, or hit her between the eyes with it after, when it might be too late for either of them? The world is a strange place to live in. All those cars, all going someplace, all carrying humans which are carrying out their lives. The world is shocked by a person who changed his sex. Glenda is shocked also, but by another reason. Someone like her had the nerve to do something factual about their situation. There are so many problems for Glen and all the other Glens. Perhaps the fear of discovery of the underthings they wear beneath their regular outer clothing, or that which they wear during their nightly visit to Morpheus, god of sleep.
Thank you very much, and I'm sure she's going to enjoy it very much. If you want to return it, be sure that you bring the sales slip. Thank you. Can I help you, sir?
Yeah. Let me see a 90.
Oh, well, what size?
12.
The color, the material?
Black? I'm very sure.
Just a minute. Well, we have this here. Would you like that? Something like this? Has lace?
Yeah.
Perhaps he admires the material too long.
You can see how sheer the material really is.
Yes.
You see, it's all pure nylon and only $21.95. And of course, it will never snag.
But Glen and Glenda and all the Glens and Glendas have an even bigger problem. The homosexual, it is true, at times does adopt the clothing or the makeup of a woman to lure members of his own sex. But this is not so for the transvestite. The transvestite is not interested in those of their own sex. The clothing is not worn to attract the attention of their own sex, but to eliminate themselves from being a member of that sex.
Hi, Joe.
Hiya, Jack.
Monday again.
You know, I think Monday is about the worst day of the week. A perfectly wonderful weekend, and back to the sweatshops.
Too bad he was born to work. Say, did you read about the guy that had his sex changed to a girl? Says he was perfectly normal, too.
How can a guy be normal and go and do a thing like that to himself?
All the same, it must take a lot of guts to pull a stunt like that.
That's a problem I don't ever intend to face.
Maybe it's a problem we should all face.
I don't get you.
Just think of the unhappy life. The miserable time this world of ours must have given that poor guy.
I still don't get you.
Now, here is a guy who wanted to be a girl. Supposing there had been no way to change his sex.
You sound as if you're really head up on this thing.
I guess I am.
Do you realize what would happen if every man in the country that wanted to wear women's clothes or felt like a woman went to their doctors and wanted a sex change?
Of course. That's why I say perhaps society should be a little bit more lenient with them. Maybe society should try to understand them as human beings.
Another day done. Thank goodness. See you tomorrow, Jack.
Yeah. So long, Joe. Until tomorrow.
Hi, Glen.
Hi, Johnny.
Come on in and hit it right for the kitchen. I can't let that dinner burn. You know, I thought I was going to have to eat alone tonight.
Well, you probably will because I've already eaten.
What's up?
Nothing much.
Say, you really look down in the dumps.
I guess I got a problem.
Haven't we all?
I mean a real problem. One like I've never had to face before.
Our whole existence is one big problem after another.
I want to get married.
You have a problem. When did this all come about?
For nearly a year, I've been engaged to a very wonderful girl. Now the time is getting very close to the man with the book. I'm scared to death.
You love her?
Very much.
Does she love you?
Yes.
There's no problem. Marry the girl.
Are you forgetting about my other self?
You have to tell her, of course.
Yeah. I have to tell her. But when? Before? Or after?
I think you know the answer to that one yourself.
My mind's in a muddle. Like in a thick fog. I can't make sense to myself sometimes. I thought I could stop wearing these things. I tried, honestly, I tried. I haven't had a stitch of them on for nearly 2 weeks until tonight. Then I couldn't stand it anymore. I had to put them on or go out of my mind. I'm afraid I'll lose her. I don't want that to happen because I really love her.
Okay. Here's a story from fact.
Johnny tells his story. He had not too long ago been married himself. He had kept quiet about his transvestite desires in the hopes that the new wife would never discover it. However, one day, the little woman came home unexpectedly an hour early.
That marriage ended here. Will your problem be like mine? Most probably it will. Because the love hasn't been built up for such a thing. She, your wife, she will not have been taught enough about the problems to cope with it.
Glenda must now make her decision. Or forever forget the marriage to Barbara. Glenda should consult a competent psychiatrist, but then very few transvestites wish to change their strange desires. This is their life. To take it away from them might do as great a harm as taking away an arm or a leg, or life itself. Many even carry their transvestite desires to the grave with them. Yes, it is a problem. But Glenda, remember back almost a year ago when Glen and Barbara accepted each other?
Okay.
That's the 6th time you've said goodnight.
I guess it is. Look. Come on over here a minute.
What is it?
Never mind, just sit down.
Beginning to think you'd never get around to it.
Did you mean you will?
What do you think?
When?
I must finish college first. It's only 7 months to go.
Well, that's hardly long enough for you to get a trousseau together.
How would you know about such things? Sudden, you seem 1,000 miles off.
Yes, I guess I was, huh? That's a mighty pretty dress you're wearing tonight.
I wear my best to please you.
You know, when you look at me, you just tie me in knots.
I love to tie you in knots. Oh, I'll be so happy when these next few months are over.
Some special reason?
Of course. So you can stop kissing me goodbye at the door every night.
Yes.
So you can hold me close to you always.
Yes.
Then all you'll have to do is call and close your eyes to feel my lips on yours.
Oh, that chicken's smelling good.
Oh, it sure do smell good.
When's it gonna be done? When's it gonna be done? I'm starving over here.
Yeah, man, that was good.
Hey guys, how's it going? Guys, still cooking that chicken after all these years.
We do.
Wow, we cook
You
chicken.
guys haven't changed at all.
Really? You don't
Not
think
since
so?
you've been kids, man.
Are we the same since we were?
I don't know. Hey, when are we gonna do a flashback?
Boy, that chicken smells good. When's that chicken gonna be done?
Somebody check that chicken.
Yum.
Ooh. Oh, man.
You did some good hunting today.
Yep, we did. Indeed.
Interesting.
That was a good old days.
Those are the days.
That's what we do.
Those are the days.
That's what we
You guys
do.
take care.
I'll see y'all later.
Enjoy the chicken.
Get out of here.
Hey, you know what? We might do some bird hunt later on.
Hey, it's Triv from the Midnight Movie, and we are out here at the Horror Hotel convention in Hudson, Ohio, and I am here with none other than Mark Torgel. And if you are familiar with Mark, you know him as Melvin from the Toxic Avenger. How you doing, Mark?
I'm okay.
So, good morning. Yes, hey, good morning. Why don't you give us a quick, a little story about how you got involved in the Toxic Avenger, how that whole thing evolved, and then we'll go on about what you're doing right now.
Okay, well, it started in 1985, I believe, and I was going to NYU Film School, and Trauma Productions posted a notice on our job board at school that said, come work on a real film. So I went down and talked to Lloyd Kaufman at Trauma Productions, and this was not for the Toxic Avenger, this was for a movie called The First Turn On, which they did the year before Toxic Avenger. And Lloyd said, oh, you're from NYU, what do you want to do on our film? And I said, well, I'd like to be the script supervisor, and then I can work with the director. He was like, that's me. He was like, yeah, you can be the script supervisor. What else do you want to do? And I said, well, I'd like to write. He was like, oh, great, you like to write? You can write some additional scenes. And I was like, oh, that's really great. And he was like, what else do you want to do? And I said, can I direct? He said, you can direct a couple scenes. And they actually let me direct a scene on the Toxic Avenger. A year later...
What scene?
In the bathroom scene, when I'm in the tub, I got to direct my mother, who was at the door outside of the bathroom. And she was like, my little Melvin, he finally reached puberty. So I kind of wrote that whole scene and directed her while smoke is coming out from under the door. But getting back to how I got into Toxic Avenger, the next, on The First Turn On, Trauma typically puts crew members into the movie as actors. And one day they called on me to play the camp counselor's boyfriend because the actor they hired didn't show up. And it was kind of an outrageous, nerdy character, kind of like Melvin in Toxic Avenger. And when they cast Toxic Avenger the following year, they called me up after supposedly interviewing hundreds of kids and said, what we really want is what Mark did last year. So they called me up and said if I wanted it, I could have it. And I said, sure, I'd love to do it. I said, can I be the script supervisor too? Which was a mistake.
So you said, yes, you're not only going to be in front of the camera, you're the script supervisor as well.
Yeah, so
oh, boy.
I did it all.
So how many Toxic Avengers are there right now?
There are 4, and I was in the first one and the last one. And Lloyd is writing another one now, which I am going to be in.
Okay, all right. So, you know, Toxic Avenger is it's a very popular movie. It has a very big cult following. So, I noticed here at your table that you're promoting something called Toxic Tutu. So, why don't you tell us a little bit about Toxic Tutu?
Yes, Toxic Tutu. Well, a year ago, a convention in North Carolina called me up, the Mad Monster Party. And I had never done any of these monster conventions, autograph signing conventions ever. And since I made this move, since Toxic Avenger was made, I've actually been working as a editor in Hollywood all this time. But the Mad Monster Party called me up and said, listen, you've got fans, and we've got a convention, and our fans asked for you to be there. We'll fly you out, we'll put you up, you can sign autographs, you can make some money, and we'll really make it worth your while. And so I had thought about doing this in the past, but I never really had time to do it, but I had time to do this one, so I did it. Had a blast, and my friend from film school came along with me, and we started documenting it. And while we were making our documentary of me at the conventions, we said, let's really go for it and make a mockumentary. So we developed a fictional story to go along with the documentary, and it's a mockumentary, and that's how Toxic Tutu evolved. And we're still in production, but we're almost done with principal photography and hope to have it out by the end of the year.
Is this, so it's kind of like, is it like a takeoff on the Toxic Avenger, or is this kind of like, not quite, or?
It is. The through line is the almost true story of whatever became of the Toxic Avengers, Mark Torgel. So it's kind of a true story, but not really.
Okay. Well, hey, the Toxic Avenger, that Toxic Tutu. Is there a way that people can find you? Is there a website for Toxic Tutu or for you?
There is. You can go to toxictutu.com, and it'll tell you all about how we're doing, what our progress is, where you can help out if possible. Also, I have a fan page on Facebook. You can look it up under Mark Torgel or Toxic Avenger / Mark Torgel. It's there, and there's all sorts of pictures and fun stuff there as well.
Well, hey, I love the Toxic Avenger, and Toxic Tutu sounds like it's going to be a blast. And hey, visit Toxic Tutu or Toxic Avenger, or look up Mark Torgel on Facebook, and hey, have some fun with the Toxic Avenger.
Hey!
Beware of the big green dragon that sits on your doorstep. He eats little boys, puppy ducktails, and big fat snails. Beware. Take care. Beware. tails and big fat snails.
Puppy dog's tail, puppy dog's tail, puppy dog's tail. Everything nice, everything nice. Ha ha ha, puppy dog's tail.
Beware of the big green dragon that sits on your doorstep. He eats little boys, puppy dog tails, and big fat snails. Beware, take care. Beware.
Fairy tales have been altered, changed, and spoofed. That's why now that we're doing it, we're calling it Father Goofed.
Jack be nimble. Jack be quick. Jack jumped over the candlestick. Jack was short. The candle tall. Jack caught fire to his balls. Father goofed.
Sweet. Ah, where's my soggy yes or BS?
Oh, you got another one?
I always am prepared.
All right.
Ow! Whew. These 3 shows take a lot out of you. What we're going to do is it's simultaneous. Oh, no. We're going to attempt something never before attempted on the Midnight Movie Show. Triv, get your last bit of energy up. Wolves, okay? We're going to try
He's
a
simultaneous...
bear. No, you're not. We're going to try a simultaneous face-off, taste-off, yes or BS off. All right, so go ahead with your face-off. Here's your pass these
We're doing
around.
face-off right now? I thought you were doing yes or BS.
It's simultaneous. We got to do them all. So you got to do your thing first. Finish yours off. They're doing chips.
Who cares?
We're back.
Simultaneous. Go ahead.
I can't see nothing out these.
What was the better De Palma movie? Carrie? Kadoosh?
Ah, there we go.
Supposedly.
Blowout. Kadoosh.
Chip.
Carrie.
Carrie.
Blowout.
Blowout.
I would say Blowout.
Anybody else out there?
Boring, but Blowout's a better movie.
Speaking of blowouts.
Anybody seen them both?
Aw, man.
Talking to the audience.
It's going to get all in my nose.
Blowout?
Which one?
Blowout?
Take 2.
You didn't see either one? Shame
Hopefully
on
the
you.
fake one.
Blowout. I just love putting the pieces together. It was just pretty. I think it was more enjoyable to watch from beginning to end. I love De Palma. Go ahead, give me your reasons, and I'll get a little tidbit about how he got inspired for Blowout.
I only saw Carrie.
Really?
I'm not a De Palma fan.
Who is hot?
Wow.
I like Ed Wood Jr.
These don't smell like anything but plastic bag. What do you say? Blowout or? Oh wait! You said Carrie, right?
I said Carrie.
Because I didn't see Blowout either.
Yeah, I didn't see Blowout.
All right. We don't watch movies.
Yeah, no kidding. You said Blowout. Good choice. Yeah, that's a good movie.
Liked it from beginning to end with a little twist ending.
Yeah.
Like the ending. Yeah.
Interesting tidbit about Blowout. De Palma was the inspiration for that movie. Was when he was younger. His mother had him follow his dad around with recording equipment to try to catch him cheating on her, and that kind of inspired him for Blowout. Interesting tidbit.
Did he catch him?
Don't ask me hard
So
questions.
in other words,
I don't
his
know.
dad gave him like a.
That's actually pretty funny, but get the book.
See the unedited version of the show.
Oh, the mom gave him. Right.
Oh. Gave her, no, I'm not even going there. I'm not going down your path. All right. Yes or BS?
Deep dark path.
Bela
Are we
Lugosi.
supposed to be eating these?
I'll give him back.
Yes.
Or BS?
Bela Lugosi served. God, I can't read it at night.
Either barbecue or pizza.
Bela Lugosi served in the Austrian-Hungary army in World War I. He was wounded at least 3 times and finally was discharged due to feigning insanity. Number 2. While appearing in the film Glen or Glenda, Bela Lugosi developed a serious crush on a woman that would appear on set, at one point even demanding she be brought to his dressing room for a romantic dinner. The woman was Ed Wood, who would sometimes dress in drag on set, and due to Lugosi's poor eyesight, he never knew the truth.
Read the first one again.
But read them all, because I was too busy eating the
Bela Lugosi served in the Austro-Hungarian army in World War I. He was wounded at least 3 times and finally was discharged due to feigning insanity. While appearing in the film Glen or Glenda, Bela Lugosi developed a serious crush on a woman that would sporadically appear on set, at one point even demanding that she be brought to his dressing room for a romantic dinner. The woman was Ed Wood, who would sometimes appear on set in drag, and due to Lugosi's poor eyesight, he never knew the truth.
Yes, BS.
Cheeseburger.
What's your answer?
That was your answer?
What's the
That's
answer?
what it tastes like. You said we're doing them all at the same time.
Yeah, but you gotta give a yes or BS too.
Oh, yeah, uh-huh.
Yeah, what?
Yes, BS.
BS, yes.
Rocco!
I would say BS, yes.
Anybody out there?
Yes, yes.
Anybody still awake?
Yes, BS.
Yes, BS.
Yes, BS.
That's pretty much everybody.
A couple of BS
I forgot to
yeses.
get the chips out there. The true one is yes, BS. He did get supposedly discharged due to feigning insanity.
He had a discharge.
Yes.
Is that Klinger?
Yes. I think that's what Klinger was based on. And he too had a big nose. There you go. Bag B. Well, you said hamburger? What did you say?
I said cheeseburger.
You said cheeseburger. I said it's either a barbecue or like a mesquite barbecue or pizza.
Cheese pizza.
Cheese pizza? They didn't get a chance. Are they getting some now?
No.
She's like, nope.
Now this tastes like the Philly cheesesteak. You get the bags mixed up?
Maybe. No, definitely not. This is done under strenuous scientific.
1 out of 3 took it this time.
They learned their lesson last time.
Tastes like
These aren't as bad.
Let me try one of these.
You got them switched.
I did not. No.
Yeah,
No.
did.
No. Oh, you step on this thing.
You wish. Your name ain't Vern.
Beer can chicken.
What?
Beer can chicken.
Featuring Miller Lite beer. Beer can chicken.
I thought you were going to get the brat one.
That's because it's Miller Lite.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's Bud Light. Oh, it's butt wet.
That sucked. They both sucked.
I thought the chicken was better than the other one.
Yeah, the second one was better, but yeah, they both stink.
Prefer honey.
A little stink. A little stink is a good thing.
A little stank. Names down so I don't bite it.
Get the book.
Get the book.
Get the audience to book.
I need like honey. I need honey barbecue.
Go to the last part of Glen or Glenda.
Because we're about done with this.
Again, the book.
The book. There's going to be so many explosions going on in the show you won't be able to see
It's going to be
us.
smoky as shit.
You'll think it's Canadian wildfire going on. Let's go see it. Oh, yeah, you win.
Glenda has made the decision. Glen has decided to tell Barbara of his dual personality. To tell her of the nighties and negligees, the sweaters and skirts, the robes and dresses, the stockings and the high-heeled shoes, the wig and the makeup. All that goes to make Glen into Glenda. He tells Barbara he cannot cheat her of the knowledge that she, as his fiancée, should possess. All the facts. He tells her softly, hurriedly at first, then slowly as he becomes more technical. His hands move to caress the smooth material of her Angora sweater, which he has so long and so desperately wanted to put on his own body. He tells of this to her, and she looks to the sweater and to his hand. Then, when it is all over and that much of the story he knows is told, Barbara is not sure of her own thoughts.
That's about it, darling. I wanted to tell you for a long, long time, but just couldn't bring myself to do it. I've been too much afraid of losing you.
Understand this, but maybe together we can work it out.
Is that the end of the story? Not quite. I'll get back to it in a minute. Glen's case is really of the lesser advanced type cases. The second case is an extremely advanced one. However, I'll get to that in a moment. First, you must realize that the world over has its own particular problem. Each case must be handled individually according to the person, his past life, and his problem. Did this Glen have any homosexual tendencies? Absolutely not. It's very seldom that a true transvestite does. And he isn't a hermaphrodite? No more than he's a pseudo-hermaphrodite. Glen's case was entirely of his mind, brought on by the environment of his early youth. What about their children, Doctor? Would their children become the same way their father is? No. Transvestism is not hereditary. Well, what makes these men want to wear girls' clothes? Many things. But as I've said before, it usually starts in early childhood from one cause or another. Technically, each case has the same beginning, just a different set of circumstances. Are any of them actually cured? Oh, yes, many, many of them. Once the source of supply is found, it can be stopped, unless the patient refuses to cut off that source of supply. Then the way I get it, this Glen and the character he created, much as an author creates a character in a book, was invented as a love object to take the place of the love he never received in his early youth through lack of it from his parents. The character was created and dressed and lives the life the author designs for him to live and dies only when the author wants him to die. Correct. Except that for the character Glenda to die, the elements must be right. But to enlighten you a little further, there's the second story, that of an extremely advanced case. Let's call this person Alan, Ann. Alan had a mother who wanted a little girl. The father didn't care much one way or the other. Alan did not enter the competitive sports that the other boys at the school did. However, he was an extremely studious boy and always had above average marks in his subjects. Yet sports, girls' sports, he always was interested in. But he was rejected by the girls and also rejected by the boys. It seems he belonged to neither of them. After school, Alan would go home to find the mother who had always wanted a girl and the father who didn't care one way or the other. He enjoyed doing the woman's work around the house. Alan was becoming a woman and didn't realize it. A woman in mind only, but the mind rules. Then came the fateful year of 1941. Alan was drafted. He was accepted. In the Army, he successfully passed his vigorous training. Did not like it, but then there were the weekends for his particular diversions. On his weekend passes, he would go to the nearest town where he had a suitcase checked in a public locker. In the suitcase, he had the things he loved to wear, that which made his body appear to be what his mind believed it was. Then the day of embarkation came. But wherever Alan went, the suitcase was sure to go. As quickly as it had begun, the war was over. Alan came home. Alan had learned all the terms directed at men like himself, but no one had found out his aversion. He was honorably discharged from the service at the end of the war. He'd received the Silver Star and the Bronze Star for gallantry in action. While he was in an army hospital recuperating from a wound he had received in New Guinea, he learned a very interesting fact. He learned that foreign doctors were doing marvelous work with a sex change, man to woman, woman to man. Shortly after his separation from service, Alan came to me for advice. There followed many long sessions with my clinical reports and the reports of eminent doctors. It had been found that Alan was really a pseudo-hermaphrodite. A hermaphrodite is one who has the organs of both the male and female in plain sight. A pseudo-hermaphrodite is one who has one perfectly formed organ of either sex and one imperfectly formed one that's difficult to detect. Alan was of the latter. Alan was then given his choice. That which nature had given him was a mistake. It was up to us to correct that mistake one way or the other. Alan had to decide whether he wanted to become a man or she wanted to become a woman. Both were completely possible. Small-boned, fair of complexion, his hair thin like a woman's, his body slim, hips slightly girlish. It was easy to see his decision, along with the fact that he had been brought up from early childhood to believe that a woman was the thing to be. Alan decided to become a woman. This, after all the help I could give him, was only the beginning. During the following 2 years, he was to go through the tortures of the damned, but never was there a whimper from him because he knew that at the end of it all, he would at last be that which he had always dreamed. Hundreds of hormone shots were injected into various parts of his body. Alan's face was worked on with plastic surgery to smooth out the female elements. Long, tedious hours of work. The big day, or the starting of many big days, for it was to take many. The series of operations are performed slowly and at intervals to prevent any unnecessary shock to the nervous system. Still, the hormone shots continue. Day after day, week after week, month after month. And even then, when the operation is over, the sex has changed, the shots must continue as long as Alan lives. First, the breasts are brought out. The body of the woman within begins to appear now. In time, Alan is Anne, a very happy, lovely young lady that modern medicine and science has created almost as a Frankenstein monster. The newspapers heard of it and hit the story with their usual fullness. Papers had not gotten hold of the story, it would have gone untold, unnoticed as so many others in medical history. The sex change has been performed hundreds of times. However, right here in this particular sex switch, it's not the end. Acting the woman and being the woman are two entirely different things. Alan had all his life acted the part of the woman. Now he is that woman and must learn how it's done. Anne must learn how to do her own hair, how to make the correct styling for her facial contours. The proper walk must be adopted. A lady is a lady, whatever the case may be. Continuing my own psychiatric treatment, it was my duty now to explain to Anne the duty of a woman in her sex life. Alan, of course, had known the man's, but he was soon to realize he knew very little about a woman's. Yet, through it all, Anne loved every minute of it. Anne was indeed meant to be a woman, and now that the sex change had been completed, Anne was a very happy woman, and a woman who was eager to learn, and now was accepted by society. A woman born at the age of 24, in a world that for 24 years she had seen as a man, but a woman who now would, and was properly instructed in how to accept, a woman's world. Thus, this case, which has a happy ending, is due entirely to the corrections made by medical science. I have had several such cases. In fact, in my 20 years of practice, I've been prominent in 7. However, my colleagues have had hundreds.
Then you believe that the Glen of the first story should have the sex change?
In Glen's case, no. No, indeed. Glen would never be happy with the sex change.
The Alan of your story ended happy?
I'll tell it to you exactly as I told it to them. Shortly after Glen told Barbara of his love for girls' clothing, he started treatments with me. On the last treatment, both he and Barbara came to me. I told him the same story of Alan, Anne, as I've told it to you, Inspector. Anne was a pseudo-hermaphrodite. Even though one of the sexes was imperfect, she had the organs and the characteristics of both the male and female. Glen's case is an entirely different type of case. Remember I said, no matter what the case, it's a different thing. A new problem to be looked into, then solved. A new challenge to the psychoanalysis. Glen's body holds only one sex, that of the male. In all our talks, I've learned these pertinent facts. Glen's father had no love for his son. His father wanted Glen to be a football hero or a baseball player so that he could brag to his cronies down at the corner saloon as his cronies bragged to him about their own sons. Thus, the ruse of Glen's fictitious character. He invented it when he could find no love from his mother and no love from his father. His mother had hated her own father. Glen reminded her of her father. Therefore, she gave all her affection, love, and attention to her daughter. Glen then decided also to become a daughter. Glen, you can kill this fictitious character of yours anytime you wish. For your happy ending, it's the only way.
Then you think I can kill this second character by transferring her qualities to Barbara?
Exactly. But as the author and his character, the elements must be right. It's up to you, Barbara. You must take the place, give the love, and accept the facts that Glenda has always accepted. If you love each other as you now believe you do, well, it'll be a hard job, but you'll enjoy doing the job.
Should I let him continue to wear girls' clothing? Or should I put my foot down?
If you put your foot down, you'd only go behind closed doors. Love is the only answer. Glenda must be transferred to you.
Supposing Glen never gets over wearing girls' clothing.
Would it matter to you very much?
I love Glen. I'll do everything I can to make him happy.
The beginning. Time passes. Soon, due to a happily married life, the remembrance of the psychiatric treatments, and Barbara's love and understanding, Glenda begins to disappear forever from Glen. Glen has found his mother, his little sister, his wife, and his Glenda all all in one lovely package. Thus, Glen's case has a happy conclusion.
Therefore, two entirely different cases, handled in two entirely different ways, have a happy ending. Yeah, those two. But what of the hundreds of other less fortunate Glens the world over?
Less fortunate Glens the world over. Oh, snips and snails and puppy duck tails.
Wishes, probably standing on mine. Oh. Hey, knock it off out there.
Daddy, where are you? Stand by.
We got them in flash. There's two of them now. We don't need two of them.
And you're up.
Here we go. We need two of them. We need a bearded wolf and a big and the
torch has been lit.
I'm the big wolf.
You're the big bad wolf?
Yeah.
Who's the? There's the face-off. Kadoosh. Who's the biggest, baddest wolf? The big bearded wolf, or the big brother wolf?
Bet I can outrun him. You can outrun me, but I can outshoot you.
But you can't thumb a ride.
I only get halfway there.
Yeah. That's what we need now. Big fire flame in front of me. You want me to look like I got the burning crotch of Denny?
The burning crotch of Denny.
The burning. Hey, that's a good idea, man.
You've just farted it.
Burn something else off.
Yeah. It's going to burn the gas off.
Yeah, let's test that theory. Shut up, Julie. Ain't got nothing.
I got nothing else.
We got nothing else. So now we're just going to sit back and watch the fire. Look at the fire burn sideways.
Fire.
Fire of Ghoul.
Hey, and if you saw my shirt, okay, thanks to my buddy, my co-host, Triff, for bringing this to me all the way from the Smoky Mountains. He knows what I like.
Speaking of the Big Muchacho show,
Alcatraz Crime Museum.
Yes.
Charles Manson's guitar was there.
His guitar was
Jeffrey
there.
Dahmer's prison glasses were there. They had this old car you'd like. I'll show you some of those old cars they have.
Yeah.
Crime cars, yeah.
Crime car?
I actually wore goggles to walk drunk. Man, it was.
Did they have Bonnie and Clyde or anything?
Yeah.
but I tell you who wasn't there?
You.
Jeffrey Dahmer's heads.
They weren't there. Bears tried to break into my truck twice.
Of course, you'd have known that 2 weeks ago.
If they want, follow them on Facebook.
Next time we'll put a camera inside your car and we can get some footage of a bear trying
There it is. The bear's always getting blamed for
They
everything.
just know if they got into one, they're going to try them all.
He's a wolf. I'm a bear.
Why?
Why?
Why is that? Should explain yourselves.
All right, wait. Don't forget.
Let them figure it out.
The Adios Muchachos when? September what?
September 13th and 14th. Okay, at Emilio's Party Center.
And Wilhelm Mouse will be there selling his little shirts and stuff and thingies.
Yeah,
and Monday, July 28th, the Cleveland Musicians Fundraiser benefit, which is mostly Kiss themed. Actually, the night before, Mr. Speed, the greatest Kiss tribute band, will be playing on Sunday the 27th. You can go on the internet, look for tickets for that. But then all day Sunday, there's music, and then at 7 o'clock, all the Kiss stuff starts from 7 to 10, and I will be playing a couple tunes as well.
Make sure you get recording of that.
I'll do my best.
And if you hadn't had enough of us by now, in August, and I'll give you the date later because I don't know it offhand, but we'll be at the Rubber Duck Stadium at the Rubber Ducks Comic Con. We'll be at the stadium.
And
watch our Roku channel. Shout out to Tim from Akron. You're doing a great job, Tim. Yeah. And if you got any requests, let us know. And we'll tell Tim. Roku channel, it's free. The Midnight Movie on Roku, free channel. Download it now. You can watch us till you're sick of us.
Don't forget to watch us on the Midnight Movie Pods. Of course,
Yeah.
you wouldn't know that unless you're already watching us on the Midnight Movie Pods.
Can you like and subscribe?
Yeah.
Or just watch.
Tell your friends.
Mistakes made. A story must be told.